All right, Rev, 420 Monday. Coach Jordan here coming at you with our workout. It's called Why Monday. Well, why Monday? It's usually the day of the week that most of us are kicking off our week. Maybe not our work week, but just our weeks in general with our schedules and back to routine, so on and so forth. Okay, so 20 minutes long, every minute on the minute, right? So keeping you a little more active, we could totally write this workout as, complete this many reps and then do this for a minute and then rest for 30. We're not going to do that. EMOMs help keep the intensity a little bit higher, help push ourselves a little bit more, and keeps us a little more engaged. Okay, so 20 minutes, every minute on the minute. You have 4 movements. One of them is rest. Okay, so they're going to progressively get harder and take more time as we get through. And the last one is going to be certainly the hardest, make you super duper tired, and then you're going to deserve or earn that rest at the bottom here. Okay, so let's talk about them. 20 shoulder taps. For those of us that are really proficient with shoulder strength or shoulder mobility, and you want to get on your upside down today, I'll talk about movement variations for that. 30 total skaters, just like we did in our warm-up. 40 mountain climbers, and then max burpee high jumps. Most of us have a ceiling that if we, maybe not in your workout space, but maybe in your home, that if you try to jump to, you could touch. So we're going to talk about that. Otherwise, it's just a burpee and jumping super high at the end, or at the top of each burpee. Okay, so these are the movements. 20-minute EMOM, 20 shoulder taps, 30 skaters, 40 mountain climbers, max burpee high jump. So as many as you can in that minute, and then you're going to earn that rest. Okay, so let's talk about it. Get you backed up here. So shoulder taps, a movement we've seen in workouts, but usually it's a good warm-up movement. Couple different ways you can make this harder. You're coming off of the rest, so if you have a way to get some weight on your shoulders, some folks have like a plate, you can slap that on your shoulders, add a little bit of weight, make it harder. Those of you that are proficient with handstand push-ups or being comfortable with upside down, you could actually do 3/4 of a wall walk. And I don't really have a spot, unfortunately, to demonstrate that with the room being remodeled. But essentially pretend I have a wall behind me. My feet were up on the wall, holding myself, and I'm in an inverted position. I can actually do my shoulder taps from that position to make them harder. Okay, but a traditional shoulder tap is a high plank position, wide feet, and I'm tapping opposite shoulder with opposite hand. Okay, 20 total taps. Rest when you're finished. Okay, if you're someone that can do 20 shoulder taps in 20 seconds, okay, and you don't have the ability to add weight or incline your body a little bit, add 10 reps to that. Do 30. Okay, I want no more than about 30 seconds of rest for each of these movements, and we'll talk about the same thing with those skaters. Okay, so 20 shoulder taps. If you're really proficient with those, find a way to make them harder. If you can't, add a few reps to that. 30 bare minimum. You could do 40 if you were still giving yourself, 30 to 25 seconds of rest. You could bump that up. Okay, most of us won't need to, and after round 1 or 2, you'll be fine with 20. But if you can add reps, do it. Okay, but give yourself that 30 to 25 seconds of rest for that round. Okay. Skaters, we did these in our warm-up. Same thing. If you're really comfortable with this movement, you could add some repetitions to it. Okay, I'm just going to do a couple here, just like we did in our warm-up. So it's a hop, and then my opposite foot that I'm not catching myself on, you can do like a nice little toe tap, or just essentially balancing yourself as you go to hop over to the other side. But again, my shoulders are always staying square as I'm doing this movement. And that was 10. 30 of those I'm not going to want to do anymore. Okay, again, if you can do 30 skaters in 30 seconds, great. That's your 30 seconds of rest. You're going to want it. Okay, if those are tough for you, you could switch out to some jumping jacks, which would be fine, or even grab out a jump rope, and you could do 30 repetitions of your jump rope as well. Okay, 40 mountain climbers. Been seeing these quite often at home. Again, find a way to make them tougher if you're really proficient with mountain climbers, but so far we've exhausted our shoulders. And then the skaters involved our legs and our hips a little bit. These mountain climbers, again, are gonna work at both our legs and our shoulders. And then we're gonna get to those max burpee high jumps and we're gonna be somewhat fatigued. So don't get crazy with adding repetitions. If you can, great. Otherwise, save yourself for those burpee high jumps. Okay, so after your 40 mountain climbers, once you get to those burpee high jumps, we're working for that full minute. So you're seeing that clock come through, you're done with your mountain climbers, you got 20 seconds of rest. You're catching your breath, you're ready to go. 3, 2, 1, bam, you have a full minute. This right here, I would assume, is probably an 8-foot ceiling. Okay, so me comfortably at 5'11" can touch the ceiling with a little bit of a hop. So for me personally, I would make sure that when I come out of my burpee, I'm gonna touch that ceiling. Okay, I don't need to punch it, and I don't wanna rip all the popcorn off of it, okay? But I'm giving myself a target. If you have a ceiling that you can touch, great. If you're someone who's 6'3", it's gonna be a little bit easier for you. That's fine, you could just leave your hands here, but just make sure those feet are leaving the floor. It doesn't need to be 5 or 6 inches, okay? If you can touch the ceiling, great. I'm more or less after intense movement for a full minute, okay? I don't want you to have to set up and, think about your jump 2 or 3 seconds each time to do it. Just get down into your burpee, and instead of just a hop and a clap, it's a jump. Think of like a squat jump, right? I come out of my squat, and my feet leaves the ground for a couple inches. That's the same height we're after with these burpee high jumps, okay? Your goal today is to match or beat your burpees every round. So the shoulder taps are there just to fatigue you. The skaters are there just to fatigue you. The mountain climbers are there just to fatigue you. The max burpee high jumps is what we're focusing on, and that's what your score will be when you go to enter it. Okay, if you're keeping track, or for your workout itself. How do you know if it's a good workout? If you're matching or beating your score for those burpees every round, okay? If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, enjoy it, friends. Have a great Monday. That's all I got. Make it a great week, okay? I personally have been struggling with getting myself to work out. Luckily, my push-up program has been keeping me somewhat busy, but I find excuses all the time not to work out. So if you're one of those people as well, no more excuses. Get it done, make the time, enjoy it, celebrate your fitness, all right? Thanks, friends. Happy Monday.